young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York Governor Kathy Hochul saying that black kids poor in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. That word is just not in their vocabulary. That's not in their lexicon. They have no idea what that is. And of course, these comments have gone all over the internets. They've gone viral, and people are really, really upset at her. And rightfully so, because aside from the offensive nature of what she said, it was just wrong. Now, are there other ways to take what she said? Of course, 100%. But what she said, as it was said, is wrong. And a lot of people were posting memes and whatnot, some funny memes. But one thing people kind of remember is Joe Biden saying a similar thing to this. Do you remember?
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, in the Hispanic and the African-American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccination.
Now, of course, what Joe Biden said was 100% wrong. You guys may or may not know I was born in West Virginia, small town, 1,000 people. And I can assure you, everybody there knows how to get on the internet. They know how to get online. They know how to interface with modern technology. All right. And if people that live in these areas don't use the internet, they don't use technology, they probably are doing it by choice, like the Amish, people like that. And I would even say that the Amish understand how to do these things. I was at a gas station recently and I saw a whole double-decker bus full of the Amish. I'm talking about Jebediah, Hebediah, no mustache, big crazy Abraham Lincoln beards, the whole 9 yards. And I think I saw one of them guys on his cell phone texting, okay, where's the wagon at? Where's the bale of hay? All this, that, and the third. But different story. I digress. The point is that it's 2024. We know what computers are. We know what the internet is. I don't think we're having a hard time being able to figure that out. It doesn't really matter if you're rich or poor. There is another conversation to have, a greater one to have. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, more context behind Kathy Hochul. Now, for some reason, although there's a migrant crisis going on, she was at the Milken Institute speaking to Jonathan Capehart. And if you don't remember him, here's a little bit of a recap.
I'm going to try to get through this. Thank you for what you did 3 years ago today.
Now, there's a lot more we got to get into. We got to get into the full context clip from Ms. Hochul and Jonathan Capehart and a little bit more. But first, a word from our sponsor. Despite everything the Fed has been trying and failing, we are still feeling the effects of inflation. Filling up your car, grocery shopping, home repairs, everything has become much more expensive. And most of y'all are paying these bills with credit cards. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. But if you're a homeowner, there is a way out. I need you to call my friends over at American Financing. They could put together a plan to pay off that high interest credit card debt and create meaningful savings for you every single month. They're saving people just like you $854 a month on average and closing in as fast as 10 days. Don't wait. Put yourself in better financial position. Call their salary-based mortgage consultants today. It costs nothing to get started. And if you start today, you could delay not one, but 2 mortgage payments, giving you greater savings up front. American Financing can help get that monkey off your back. Call 866-890-9313. Again, that's 866-890-9313 or visit AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 1823334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Okay, so here we have the clip in question with full context. This is about a 15-minute conversation. I will link to the entire thing in the description if you want to see it in full, but we're going to get straight to the good part. Why was Kathy Hochul saying these things about black kids in the community, and is there a way to defend her? Now, watch all the way to the end. You might be surprised at what I'm going to say, and please don't nobody get offended. Don't nobody get triggered. I promise I'm on your side. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And I want to hit on 3 things in the 11 minutes and 45 seconds that we have. The first one is AI. Talk about your newly announced Empire AI Consortium and how you hope it will make New York become a global leader in artificial intelligence.
Jonathan, I don't hope, it will. We are very confident that what we're doing in the state of New York, and this idea came from Tom Secunda at Bloomberg, one of the founders of Bloomberg. We sat down and had breakfast in October in New York City, and he said,
Hey, and fair use to the Milken Institute. Don't give me no copyright on this, please. Fair use.
I have this idea that what is happening, the power of supercomputing right now is in the hands of the large private companies. What if we created a consortium that opened up all the potential of AI to larger groups, such as college campuses? And he committed that he'll help me find the private sector dollars. I have $125 million of commitments. I said the state's in. We supported $275 million to go toward this initiative. Various universities, Cornell, NYU, University of Rochester, RPI, and our state schools all have bought into this. So now what we have is the money to build a phenomenal supercomputer that is going to be accessible to researchers in New York, college students, will attract more federal grants, and this is how we lay down the mark. No state has done this. And in fact, I talked to a lot of other people who said, I wish my governor had thought of that first. I said, no, this is New York. We like to be first. With all due respect to people from other states. It's sort of our attitude. We will be the best, we will be the first, and I want others to follow, because.
So again, pausing for the copyright, fair use. What she's saying so far, basically talking about investing into modern technology, AI, things of this nature, trying to get young people trained up on it. I mean, that's not really a bad idea, in my opinion.
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges. I've created this governance board, this advisory committee. Our CEO is Arvind Krishna, who is the CEO of IBM, very well.
Okay, I'll pause it right there, but you get the idea. Basically, she's talking about these young black kids in Bronx, poor kids, whatever. They don't know what a computer is. And we want to get them involved with modern technology so they can contribute and bring forward whatever they can bring forward in their own unique way. That's what she's saying. Now, again, what she said about these black kids not knowing what a computer is, that's just not right. But there is a discussion to be had here. And we got to have the discussion. And if it's not had, then we're just not really identifying the problem. It's like in Chicago where they're having the shootings, and then the politicals are like, oh, no, I know shootings happening. Well, there is an issue. Now, these kids use computers, but they're using, a lot of times, their cell phones, iPads, maybe a laptop at school, or if they got to do some kind of work. But they're not using desktop computers. If you show them a desktop computer, they don't know what that is. So if she was trying to say that, then I agree. Anything else, I don't agree. And it's not even about black. The race part, I think, is ridiculous. I think it's about young people of all colors. Most normies, regardless of what color you are, how much money you got, don't know about desktop computers and more advanced things with computers. Let me show you something right quick. Because this is kind of important, okay? And then before we get to what I'm going to show you, she says that she regrets it, kind of like apologizing. Let me just show you what she said. She says, of course, black children in the Bronx know what computers are. The problem is that they too often lack access to the technology needed to get on track to high-paying jobs in emerging industries like AI. That's why I've been focused on increasing economic opportunities since day one of my administration, and will continue that fight to ensure every New Yorker has a shot at a good paying job. Okay, that's that. But here's my setup. This is a piece of my setup. I have a dual monitor. You don't see the other monitor. That's my camera right there. The camera I'm looking at right now, that I'm pointing at, is the one that's right here in this picture. Okay, that is a mirrorless camera, a Sony Alpha 6400, connected to my PC with an Elgato capture card. That's an internal PCIe. Okay, what's that, ABL? Exactly my point. All right, and then here's one of my monitors, and then the other one's off frame. That is an Elgato key light. I got two right here. I got another one right here. I got a tube light right here, and another one behind me to create that blue light. All right, now, when I show people my studio, people come to my house all the time and they see my studio. They want to see all of the gadgets. People are asking, what's that right there? You see this right above my keyboard? That's my mixer that I have my microphone hooked up to. This microphone's hooked up to that, and I can control it right here. I got sounds and I can record and everything right there. Now, people always ask, what's that box over there? That's the number one question I get. What's that box? That's the computer. If you ask the average young person what this is, they're not going to know because they've never seen it. Again, most people, most normies use their phone, use their iPad, maybe a laptop. They don't use desktops. And really, if you want to get into the more high-paying jobs and you want to get really into tech, you need to know about desktop computing. When I go to certain places and see certain things, like if I'm going to somebody that they got a podcast, like a real production going on, it's going to be desktops with monitors and all kind of stuff. You're going to have big mixers and all kind of heavy equipment. It's not going to be an iPad in there making everything work. It's going to be these big desktop computers. Now, mine is custom. I built everything in it. And you're going to see a lot of these when you get into the higher echelons of work. Now, if you guys think differently, let me know in the box. But that's generally what's going to happen. And a lot of kids, regardless of what color they are, regardless of how much money they got, simply don't get exposed to that. They're not educated about that. So if she wants to talk about that, then that's fine. But to put the poor black, that's just ridiculous. It's really just about young people not being educated about technology that will help them advance forward into the future. Simple as that. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what Kathy Hochul said? Do you think she was racist? Do you think she had a point? Do you think she is 10% right, 100% wrong, 100% right? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think that a person like Kathy Hochul does not really know about technology. Therefore, she's not really able to articulate what's happening with our kids. It's not about your income level or your skin color or anything like that. It's about what's happening right now is cell phones. Everybody's on TikTok. Everybody's consuming short form content, but they're not being educated how I was educated and how many of you were educated on desktop computing and how to know the inner workings of technology. They just don't understand what's going on. So that should be the focus rather than it being about a color thing or anything like that, in my humble opinion. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.